Even if there's a bad outcome, which there always is in malpractice cases, that doesn't mean that the doctor did something wrong and that the standard, the duty that he owes is not of excellence or flawlessness or perfection, but reasonable care, because it can't be anything more than that, because he's a human being. He's not a computer. He is not in any way perfect, nor could he ever be. And so what I'll do is I'll spend a lot of time in the jury selection process explaining the concept of reasonableness. Despite the fact there's an injury, it doesn't mean he did something wrong. And jurors can understand and accept that concept, I don't want to say easily, but they do accept it. It's my job at trial in those circumstances to convince the jury this ain't easy. And these people are human beings and they're doing their best, but here are the reasons why they came to that misdiagnosis. Here's where it fooled them. Here's the reason why they came to the wrong diagnosis, where in a differential diagnosis, they had 10 different things that it reasonably could have been. And they chose number 7 when in fact it should have been number 1 or number 2, but there were reasonable thought processes behind why they thought it was number 7. If I have a claims-made policy, it will generally say, we insurance company will cover you, Dr. Jones, for any claims that are brought between January 1st and December 31st, 2012. If the claim is brought, in other words, the notice of intent letter or lawsuit is brought within that 1-year period of time, you've got coverage. But if the claim is brought at any time outside of that, we don't care, you have no coverage. That's a claims-made policy. Believe it or not, correct, the doctor was on the golf course at the time that he got that phone call. The phone call took about a minute, and the appellate court said that's enough to create a doctor-patient relationship, even though the doctor didn't know the patient's name, had never been formally consulted in any way, shape, or form. So that would be a good question about, does a duty exist? I think they're broadening the definition of when a duty exists to the patient.